Hey guys, it's Brendan Borman, back from their 270 video. Today I'll be continuing my 101 state group series by taking a look at the high-tech bonus inside the game of 270. Mastering this bonus can really help you improve as a player, but first, take a second to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel for more 270 content. I'll admit, when I first started playing 270, I was a big sucker for those big states like Texas and California and New York. I didn't know much about how to get high tech, but I knew that New York and California, especially as a Democrat, was a great way to get that high tech bonus. But there are several key states other than those two, and I'll talk about all the states inside the high tech group. The complete group includes Massachusetts, Maryland, California, Washington, Virginia, Utah, Delaware, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and New York. That's a whopping 186 electoral votes, and that's a 68% of what you need to actually reach 270, or to win the presidency. But let's start here. For giggles, what exactly is high tech? The true definition seems to shift over time, but I think of big corporations like Amazon or Apple. And if Mark Zuckerberg is ever added to the 270 game, I would hope that he had a large bonus. Let me know in the comments who should have a larger high-tech bonus, Elon Musk or a hypothetical Mark Zuckerberg. High tech has a base rate of $100,000 per turn and is considered to be a Democratic stronghold inside the game. However, there are quite a few Republicans and independents with a high-tech bonus. To achieve the bonus, you need to acquire enough capital in states to achieve $316.5 thousand. To calculate this, remember, you only count the base rate of a state. For example, California is $200,000 per pip, and that $200,000 is 63% of what's needed to achieve 316.5. So we need a few other states to go along with California. While there are plenty of paths to achieve this bonus, it's often one of the most contested groups inside the game. So learning the numbers is the foundation to setting yourself up for success. Let's take a look at some of the best high-tech candidates inside the game. Mark Cuban from Shark Tank and the owner of the Dallas Mavericks has a big high-tech bonus, as do lots of Democrats. I left off the Obamas from this list, but of course you can use them, go after high tech, and be in great shape. I included a pair of Republicans in Trump 2020 and Ronald Reagan. The addition of a high tech bonus allows GOP candidates to not rely on Texas, especially in one-on-one matchups. Having the flexibility of choosing Texas or California can really be important when differentiating how good a candidate can actually be. And of course, I had to add Elon Musk to this list. As a bonus tip, Musk makes a great vice president selection if you're wanting to boost someone's high tech. So this is a great question to ask yourself before starting a match. If I'm going to go after high tech, should I go through New York, California, or both? Now, you may be thinking about what you would say, and I have my own thoughts as well, but it really depends on certain factors like the number of players, your experience pivoting, what you feel more comfortable with, getting certain bonuses being more risky, having a good foundation. But other bonuses like town and gown, oil and gas, agriculture, or even African American or Latino can influence this question. A lot of players will go New York because they can get town and gown via Utah and Massachusetts and have both of those states accrue toward high tech. Combine that with the fact that you can achieve 5 total bonuses with New York as a base, and that seems like the definite answer. But just to play devil's advocate, if you have California on like the first or maybe the second pip, you can spend the rest of your free cash to try to outmaneuver your opponent in key states like Maryland, Michigan, Pennsylvania, or Virginia. Plus, your opponent has to be cognitive of you going straight for California and Texas. So, while I personally find it easy to beat those types of players, you have a small margin for error. So I encourage you to play around with all types of strategies until you find one that is comfortable for you. Going New York and California by itself is extremely risky, but it does open up certain pathways like Latino by just adding Nevada and New Jersey. This can be a very strong path for Democratic candidates, especially in multiplayer, if it's not stopped by your opponent. The California Classic is the first efficient way I learned how to achieve the high-tech bonus, and it is a great multiplayer strategy. It's really important, though, to hold on to Pennsylvania and Michigan. Sometimes you might have to overspend. I have found that it's a great path to take someone like an FDR because it leads to a higher probability in achieving both the export and the manufacturing bonus. If you are a newer player, FDR is a great candidate, and I encourage you to check him out. But keep in mind there's one simple trick that you can do to help you from overspending, and that is the method of substitution. Let's say your opponent swipes Michigan from under your nose. Now all of a sudden you have to replace the $45,000 that was stolen. Instead of trying to overspend and risk a clash, simply go up in Maryland and Delaware. $35,000 in Maryland, $10,000 in Delaware, and that equals exactly what you lost in Michigan. Not to mention that you can also steal Michigan back if your opponent doesn't lock it in on future turns. The next grouping is one of my personal favorites. It's called the California Trio, and it involves California, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Virginia. Hold this trio, and it can be really good things for your future game, but it's very hard to hold on to them because if your opponent has swing states or the Old South, that bonus money can be used to attack you. Finally, here is a New York path. This is Town and Tech. You can achieve Town and Gown by turn 3, High Tech by turn 4, and set yourself up to achieve the African American bonus soon after that. I tried really hard to make Utah blue to show the difference in the turn 1 versus turn 2, but after 10 minutes of trying to edit and make Utah blue, I gave up. I'll stick to the great advice in 270 and the suspect graphic making. My apologies. Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Michigan are crucial, critical battleground states. All of these states affect bonuses such as the Old South, swing states, manufacturing, export-driven, and of course, high-tech. I have talked about previously how valuable Virginia can be on a cost per dollar, but do not sleep on how much easier bonuses are to get when you have states like Pennsylvania, $60,000, Michigan, $45,000, and Maryland, $35,000. Another common trend inside 270 is the battleground, states that happen when there is a ballot. Because of the nature of export being achieved later in the game, and the fact that Washington and Connecticut are very cheap, all things considered, these two states are usually where you can find fireworks inside the high-tech group on the ballot. Also, Pennsylvania is a state that is often not closed off before the ballot, so keep that in mind. Finally, don't sleep on how important it is to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next 270 video.